Hey, John here with Prime Studios, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to load and unload medium format 120 film. Now, the camera I have here is what's called a Mamiya C220, and my particular camera takes 6x6 photographs with the 120 film. Now that means that the photographs are 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters, and I have a few here to show you as an example. So these are actually positive slide film, but as you can see it's a square format, 6x6. Now, using the same 120 film, you can actually do 6 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters, known as 645, and you'll get about 15 exposures on the roll. If you do 6x6, like I do with this camera, then you'll get about 12 pictures on a roll. And if you do the 6x7 format, which is 6 centimeters by 7 centimeters, then you'll get about 8 pictures per roll. And the shape of the picture, whether it's 645, 6x6, or 6x7, is determined by the type of camera you use. So mine's a 6x6, which I like a lot. I really like the square format a lot. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually unload the film that's already in the camera. Now this is my winder wheel here. If you listen, you can hear the paper backing on the film hitting again and again as I rotate it around. So that tells me that I'm all done. And since I'm shooting 6x6, my counter here ends at 12 and it's sitting at 13, so it's not going to go forward anymore. So I know that my film is ready to unload. Now, the difference between medium format film and 35mm film is that with 35mm film, you actually have to rewind it back into its canister, but not for medium format film. The film actually starts off down here, and as you take pictures, it gets wound up here. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and open up the back of the camera carefully. Unlock it here. So you can see my roll of film is right up here, and it's a little crooked, which worries me a little bit. Ugh, okay, there we go. So I may have exposed a little bit of my film to light, which isn't good. But you can see the paper backing here. Now I can go ahead and pop open the side here, and you'll see something very similar on your camera. You need to be careful. Make sure that the film doesn't come unrolled, because if it does, then it'll all be exposed to light, because the only thing that's keeping this thing from being exposed to light is the paper backing that's on it. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight around there. It's not going to unravel, because that'll ruin all your film. Now, at the end of the film roll, you're going to see this adhesive strip here. And what you do is you follow the directions. You just lift right here. And there's going to be a little sticky part right here, which will help you seal your film. So now that's nice and sealed off. Now you'll see it's on this spool, and you're about to see the reason why I took the film out first, why I showed that to you first. Put that over here. Now in the camera itself, you're going to see the spool that the film came off of down here. So that, I'm going to take that spool, I'm going to pop it out, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the top here. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take the new roll of film that I'm going to load. And this is Ilford HP5 plus 400. So this is pretty standard film. It's just the 120 format instead of the 35mm format. Okay, so here I have my new roll of film, and you can see it has its own spool, but it needs a spool to be loaded onto, which is this one from the previous roll of film. So it's kind of a strange thing with medium format film. You are actually using the piece of the last roll for the new roll. And eventually all of this film will be wound onto this roll, and this spool will be blank, just like this one. So to load my film, you'll find another adhesive strip at the beginning, so you want to go ahead and undo that. Now what I like to do is I actually like to attach this, you'll see some paper here, but I actually like to attach it to the new spool. You can slide it through, let me take this off. You can slide it through like this. But in order to secure it, I just go ahead and take a piece of Scotch tape and I'll stick it on there. And that way I know that the spool will definitely pull up the film and it's not gonna slip and I just end up not taking any pictures. So now I have this taped on there, and you want to make sure that the paper is lined up with the spool so that it's not going to kink or go kind of sideways as it rolls up. So once you do that, you want to go ahead and put the roll of film down in the bottom. And you want to be careful not to unravel it, obviously, because just like the other roll of film, it only has a paper backing to protect it from light. And if it unravels, it will expose the film to light and ruin it. So then you're going to take this other spool, and you're going to go ahead and load it in the top. And you want to make sure that this is lined up with the mechanism in your camera so that it fits in there properly. There we go. Okay, so you want to make sure that's nice and secure in there. Now next what you're going to do is you're going to have some kind of winder wheel. And on the back of the paper here, it's going to have some markings. And on my camera you can see little red dots on either side here. That's my starting point for my film. So I'm going to go ahead and advance it, and it's going to have some markings come up. This arrow right here, I need to line this up with those red markings. And then I am good to go. All I have to do is go ahead and close the back and lock it down. And on this particular camera, it actually has a setting where I can do 120 film or 220, so I need to make sure that's on 120. And my counter has been reset to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and wind it until it says 1. And there you go. There I am, sitting at 1, ready to go. And that's how you load and unload medium format film.